So I am Sarah Marie Paul, and I am a wellness coach. I'm also a gold leader with Young Living, and I am so excited to be here tonight to share with you some awesome, all things motherhood, all things oils. And when Alexandra, who is here, I'm gonna make sure that she gets to give her introduction in a minute. She had this idea. She was like, "Why don't we just talk about, the ways that we use these oils with our little ones?" Um, and I think it would really help other mamas, give them some other ideas, give them some recipes. We can talk about things in the starter kit, we can talk about things outside of the starter kit, and just kind of talk about some really simple things. Who likes simple when it comes to your kids? Anybody who likes easy? Yeah. Who likes things that take 2 hours and you have to look at a really long recipe and there's like 15 ingredients? Anybody like those things? No, some of you maybe, I don't know, can't see all your faces, but no, I like easy. Like, it has to be super easy, super quick, or else guess what? I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. And 9 times out of 10, I have to be able to do it with my little guy with me as well, because he always wants to do everything. Like Brandy was saying, her daughter is so excited about all things with oils that she just wants to do all the things with them, right? And I remember when I started using oils with Cooper, when he was about a year and a half, is when we started using oils with him, and he just turned 5 now. So this journey has been interesting. And I know, like, when they're little, like you said, Ashley, you're like, okay, I've used them in the diffuser. But like, how can I use these in more ways, especially because we're entering the age of 2, right? That all things start to happen and maybe a little sass comes out. I know these oils can help with that, but like, you want to use them safely. And that was a big thing for me too. So we use oils for everything, but I use them quickly, I use them simply, and I use them in ways that just replace other things that I would be using as a mom anyway. So that's really what tonight is going to be about. It's not going to be about adding to your plate, because as mamas, we have enough going on. How many of you feel like you're juggling a lot of plates up in the air? You're wearing a whole bunch of different hats, like, all the time, putting all the different hats on. And we are here to ideally remove some things from your plate and just make things a little bit more streamlined with what you already have as well. There might be some things that we mentioned tonight, maybe that you don't have, but we're going to really try to focus on some starter kit oils. We're going to also focus on just a couple things that we use all the time, like in many different ways. So our goal tonight is to show you versatility. It's also to streamline what you're already doing as a mama. And it's also to say, hey, you're doing an awesome job. Like, you are here to learn more things to put into your mommy arsenal, or your grandmommy arsenal, or your woman arsenal of ways to care for yourself, and also ways to care for your family. And that's amazing. Like, that's wonderful. So just take a deep breath now, because you probably haven't done that maybe all day. So just everybody take a deep breath. Right? Just be like, oh, wow. Yeah, I am breathing today, right? I don't know. I know that I've had a running around day. So take that breath and pat yourself on the back and just say, hey, this is awesome. I'm here for the next, 45 minutes to just really love on myself, to nourish something that I'm passionate about, that I want to learn more about, with a bunch of like-minded women who are all here for the same purpose. So that is just a beautiful thing. So that's my intro. I don't really know if I said much, but I do have a son and he's 5, and he wanted to be here with you, but his daddy is upstairs putting him to bed right now, which we use the Calm supplement, the magnesium supplement from Young Living. We use that every night. That has made a big difference, because my son is the type of boy who never stops moving ever, like ever. We have to force sleep upon him, and we've had to do that since he was an infant. He would never just fall asleep. Like, I would always see those babies or like young kids that would just be falling asleep in precarious spots, like at the table or in their high chair, or like, on the floor. My son never has done that in his entire life, ever. So the magnesium calm supplement actually helps a ton for him. We give it to him about half an hour before bedtime, and he falls asleep so much quicker. So there's one little thing that is something that is new and that I love very much. It is really like sour tasting. It tastes like almost like sour watermelon. Um, but we've done it with a little shot of water, like 2 ounces of water, and that's how he started taking it. Now he just takes it straight and then does a chaser with water for the supplement, and he loves it that way. But that is really amazing. And let me introduce you to Alexandra. Alexandra has the cutest little boy. He is just so adorable. And she can talk to you about using oils like I mean, how old is James?
He's actually only 4 months, so it's so nice to see everyone. As she said, I'm Alexandra. I live in Wernersville, Pennsylvania. I am like a big holistic health and wellness fanatic. I work as an auditor in Why I'm Missing, and I'm just so excited to tell you guys a little bit about, how the premium starter kit became like my secret toolbox, my secret weapon against like really hard days. And I really hope that not only, tonight you're going to find ways you can use the oils on your little ones, but also, find ways to take care of yourself. I think when I reached out to Sarah, I realized that I was kind of like at a breaking point. Like I was so stressed. I mean, like I said, my baby's 4 months old. The first 4 weeks were just absolutely crazy. For those of you that have little ones, I'm sure you can remember, you just really get thrown for a loop. And essential oils just absolutely changed my life. They were able to show me how I could take care of myself. And I know when I'm taking care of myself, that means I'm going to be a better caregiver for my little guy. So really excited to have you all here. And that's just a little blurb about me.
Absolutely. No. And I remember talking to you, Alexandra. Alexandra and I met years ago, and then she recently reached out to me. Like, I think you may have just had James, like he was a couple weeks old. And I remember talking on the phone with you, and you were like, yeah, I just had my son. And I think he was just, and I'm a little stressed. She was so sweet. She's like, I'm a little stressed out. And I'm like, well, how old is he? And she's like, I think he was like 2 to 4 weeks. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even off the sofa at that point. I remember like I was wearing nightgowns for seemingly a very long time. But I was like, absolutely. And that's something that, coming from one mama to another, I just told her, yes, no, nothing can really prepare you for that transition. It is the most beautiful thing. However, no matter how many books you read, no matter how many stories you hear, right? Nothing prepares you for when you become a mama. Nothing does. And Angela said, yes, you cannot pour into others' cups unless you pour into your own. And that is so true. So self-care is just as important, as taking care of others that are in your life. And if you're not doing a good job with your self-care, you're really not going to be able to do a good job of taking care of others either. So how many of you currently use essential oils? Because we're going to talk about that a lot tonight. Let us know if you currently use them, what you're just really enjoying right now for yourself. We're going to talk about you for just a minute. Let us know in the comments if you use them. Yeah, let us know, and let us know what you love. Alexandra, what do you really love to take care of you when you're using an oil?
So my favorite oil from the premium starter kit is Peace and Calming. It's just so simple. I can literally walk out my bedroom door. I have like a little oily rack that I have sitting, in the hallway. And I pick up Peace and Calming. I just put a drop on my palm of my hand, rub it together, and I go ahead and I do the aromatic breath. For me, nighttime is so hard. I feel like I'm always on the go, very like goal oriented. So the days are super busy. And then when I get to bedtime, after taking care of the baby, it's like, okay, time for Alexandra. And I can't calm my mind. I can't relax. And then I just lay in bed for hours and hours. And then, I hear the baby crying. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, 3 hours went by. And I didn't fall asleep that whole time. And doing the aromatic breath of Peace and Calming made such a difference for me, because instantly I can just feel the smell work its way through my body, and it gives me a chance to reset. It gives me a chance to breathe. And that's probably my favorite one for self-care right now.
Awesome. Do all of you know the aromatic breath? Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a something, something. Let me know. All right. Some people do and some people don't. This is about to like expand your mind. Okay. If any of you have an oil nearby, just grab it. If not, you can play along with us, or you can just go run and get one too. That's okay. There's, running is fine. Because this is just, it's huge. It's huge, huge, huge. One technique that, because I remember when I first started using oils, Sarah Stutzman's in here. She was the one who got me hooked on oils. And it was just because at the time when Cooper, my son, was little, he was a year and a half, he had severe upper respiratory issues to the point that it put us in the hospital because he had a severe allergic reaction to penicillin. He was there for observation for anaphylaxis. I left the hospital when we were finally discharged. I got home and I was like, what? We need to do something different. And I reached out to Sarah just basically as a mama who was not sleeping, who was anxiety ridden, who was depressed, who felt like I had no idea how to care for my son to keep him well. And I was really almost like at a rock bottom point with my mental health and also with my confidence in being a mom. I felt like I didn't know what to do. And I remember talking to her and being like, I had no idea what oils were, by the way, no idea. I thought there was only lavender oil, which I like. That's a good one. That smells good, right? Helps you relax. But I was so consumed with like, okay, I'm going to get these, but then where do I put them? Because I know I have to put them on like all these different places or they're not going to work right because I'm a rule follower. Like I want to know what they do. I want to know how they do them. I want to know specifically where to put them. If I have to put them on my third toe or whatever. And thank goodness it is not that hard because I never put them on my third toe. I don't even like reading about that now. So what I'm going to do is show you the aromatic breath. I have an oil here that's called Deep Relief. This is a great mama oil. You'll see me regularly when I'm on calls. I rub this right here, right above my shoulder blades. And I just kind of rub it over and then I'll rub a little bit on my forehead because I'm always carrying my stress like this. Like, oh, the weight of the world is always on my shoulders. And this just helps to relieve that. So take your oil if you have it. If you're dropping an oil, you can just put a drop into the palm of your hand. If you have a roller, you can just kind of roll it around on there. We're going to do the aromatic breath together. So you put the oil in the palm of your hand. You take your other hand, rub your hands together in a circular pattern about 3 times. Cup your hands together. Put it over your nose and over your mouth. Take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and 3 deep breaths out through your mouth. Whatever's left over, I put it right behind my ears because you have so many little emotional points there. I don't know what they all are, but they're there. And then you can put them on your wrists. You can rub it in your hair. You can put oils anywhere. Just don't start poking your eyeballs. Okay. Don't start sticking your fingers in your ears like this, but almost anywhere else is fair game for oils. Okay. And that's the aromatic breath, right, Alex?
Yes. Yes.
So that's the one that like helps us breathe for us. And you can teach your little ones that technique. And that is the coolest thing because my son will now come to me when he's like feeling that he needs to regulate, that he's running very high and needs some regulation. And he will say to me, Mom, I think I need an aromatic breath. And it's like, it's the most beautiful thing. He's 5 and he's telling me this. Okay. He's 5 and he's telling me that. And that is something that even as an adult, right? How many of us struggle with that? Knowing how we're feeling and what we need, what that feeling, what that sensation is telling us. So the coolest thing is that you can teach your children these self-regulation techniques as well. Yeah, and they're so good with it. So good with it.
And that's the thing. Self-care doesn't have to be like an hour thing. It can just be like a quick 30-second, get it done right here and now. You don't have to be making an appointment with your massage therapist and going out for an hour. It's like literally you have the power at your fingertips. And I think that is just pretty cool.
Yeah. And 30 seconds, right? 30
Yeah.
seconds. You take those breaths, and it's just you stopping for that time period to reset or to restart, because our motto in our house is you can restart your day at any time. Anytime. And all of you have the power to do that. Every single one of you has the power to do that too. Whenever we need that. So that's for you. And then that's also for your little one too. And you can use any oil like that. Now, there are some hot oils like thieves in your kit that you may not want to do just like that because it's super spicy. But almost every single other oil you can use that aromatic breath with. And it's so life-giving, so life-giving. So Alexandra, can you talk a little bit about your daily, like, some oils that you use, what happens in your house? Because James, with him being so little, you have diapers going on, right? He
Yes.
is eating a lot. Does he still is he still spitting up or making a mess at
Hmm.
times? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely my experience is going to be from the like newborn baby side, and how like oils have kind of changed my life with that. I remember coming home from the hospital, our family members were making meals for us. I didn't want to get up. I was so tired. And the house, didn't look picture perfect. It wasn't in magazine-esque shape. But that's okay because life is messy and complicated. And that's where I pulled out my diffuser, and I had citrus fresh going, I had lemon, and it totally gave off just these most beautiful smells. And when my house was in total disarray, it made me feel like, okay, like, I can still cling on to this. Like my house smells beautiful. And when I have visitors coming over to see the baby, like it's still going to smell nice and it's not going to smell too bad. Um, on top of that, speaking of smells, so with a baby, you're changing diapers, all the time. And something I noticed was the diaper pail that we have was starting to get smelly. In the beginning, you don't notice it, but once babies start kind of building up that gut bacteria, once they start getting, more food in their system, it starts to get a little smellier. And I wanted to find a natural way to kind of combat that smell. I ended up making like a diaper pail balm, and that will be included in the recipes that you guys get after this class. But essentially, it's just uncooked rice in a mesh bag, and I put 10 drops of Digize on it, and I let it sit in the diaper pail for 2 to 3 weeks. And you totally don't even notice the smell of diapers. So that makes me feel real good as a mom, knowing like I don't have to worry too much about that. And obviously, I'm taking the trash out, but it kind of like keeps the odor at bay. And it's funny because Digize is like the tummy type of oil. So I didn't realize it would be really good at eliminating smells, but it is, fun fact.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think is really great about Digize is, when you're doing laundry, if you have some really stinky laundry, maybe, your kiddo just threw up over their onesie and, spit up over all their burp cloths, you can throw everything in the washer. And mind you, we also have a Thieves laundry detergent that you could use. But in addition to that, for some super smelly laundry, you could put 5 drops of Digize onto like a wet washcloth, throw it in with the cycle, and it will help refresh the clothing. So that's another thing that I love about it too.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that I learned recently about Digize, because all I had ever associated it with was tummy aches. So you can take it, you can rub it right onto tummies. If you have little ones, then you're going to want to dilute that, but it is completely safe and it's wonderful. We keep it in all the bathrooms of our house. And if anyone has a tummy ache, then we can just rub it right on with a little bit of coconut oil. But yeah, it's good at like breaking down the smelliness. So how many of you, or let me know, what do you diffuse in your home if you want your home to smell fresh and so clean? If it isn't so fresh and so clean, not saying, that all of you don't have impeccable houses, but because you had mentioned diffusing like the citruses, right? Alexandra likes citrus fresh and lemon. I have some people saying bergamot, some people thieves.
It's beautiful.
I love purification. I remember that was one that came in my starter kit when I started a little over 3.5 years ago. And purification is amazing at eliminating odors as well. So that is like amazing. I cook a lot in my house. So even if you aren't at the stage where you have diapers, you still put trash in the trash can, and things can smell even overnight if you forget to take something out, or if you, I don't know, ever forget. I have lately been forgetting things in the oven, which is just awful. I think I just have too many things that I'm thinking about, like overnight, that I have forgotten something in the oven, not cooking, but just like hanging out in there. And then I go to turn the oven on the next day. Does anyone ever do this? Is this just me? Everyone's like looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I've done this. And I'm like, what the heck? What is that smell? Oh my gosh, what is that smell? Like, what is this? When did I even cook this? What's happening here? Okay, so I do this. Purification is amazing. You can put it in the diffuser, and within like 2 minutes, your house will help to eliminate and truly eliminate anything funky you have going on in the air too. But that's what's
Also,
awesome about the digest with the clothes too.
purification on cotton balls. Stick them in your shoes. If your kid's coming home from football practice and they've got some really sweaty cleats, just throw like 2 drops on a cotton ball of purification, stick it in the sneakers, and you'll be good to go.
That's awesome. That's a really good tip too. How about, let's talk about lavender a little bit. How do you like to use lavender?
So this one I have many uses for. Lavender is like the multiversal, most amazing oil I love, but I've especially loved using it to do like nighttime massages with my little guy. And you'll notice Young Living recommends that you use oils diluted for 2 and up. So definitely talk to your pediatrician, talk to your family doctor before you go ahead and use them. But I find that if I dilute lavender a lot with like some coconut oil, I'll rub it into my little guy's feet right before bedtime. Like we have a little routine. We read, he gets fed, he gets a massage, he gets a bath. And I love putting lavender on his little feet just to kind of calm him down and get him ready for nighttime. Another use for lavender, and this is going to be for like an older kid, but have you ever had like a scratch on your arm or a cut? Putting a drop of lavender on that and rubbing the cut or scrape actually helps heal you a little bit faster. The other day I got scratched by my parents' dog, and it totally did the trick for me. And the next day, I felt good. The scrape was not visible, and that's like a personal reason why I love using lavender. So
Yeah, it's so good for skin. So like if we have anything going on with skin at all, like I'm talking about little bumpies, anything that's itchy, if somebody touches a hot pan very, very quickly, I'm not saying to like help with 3rd-degree burns or anything like that, but it is amazing to put onto skin. It is so super mild that you can even use it on little tiny babies if it's diluted. And it works wonders. When we first started using oils, my little guy had eczema pretty badly. And I was looking for something just to kind of relieve the itch that was on the back of his arms. He always had it like right back here down both sides, and he would scratch it so much. And I could just tell that it was really uncomfortable for him. So in the beginning, I would just use lavender oil. And sometimes I would also use our lavender lotion. That is a great lotion, especially for the winter time too. But you can even use lavender, like Alexandra was saying, with coconut oil too on skin to just give it a little bit more support. And I know that, go ahead.
And I was going to say, so, you hear me talking about the lavender massages at night, but then you think to yourself, oh, well, I could go to CVS and pick up like a regular thing of baby oil. But the reason why I don't like using that on my newborn is there are so many hidden chemicals in these like store brand type of products, like hidden fragrances, like just for something to say fragrance, it could be like thousands of different chemicals. And I don't feel comfortable putting that on my little guy. And I do feel comfortable using Young Living's lavender just because they're 100% therapeutic grade essential oils. It's not like I'm buying like an off market Amazon type of oil. Like this stuff is legitimate. And I believe in it because of the seed to sale promise that Young Living has. If any of you are already Young Living members, I'm sure you're familiar with that, but it just gives me a little bit more comfort, when I'm using these oils.
Absolutely. And I remember I was always using, I had done research about Johnson and Johnson when I had my little guy, and I knew that they had had class action lawsuits against them. Even within the past year, if you take a look, you can look public record, class action lawsuit against Johnson and Johnson. They have a lot of stuff that is in their products, but one ingredient that was just startling to me was the fact that they had formaldehyde in their baby washes. And that is just a preservative. But then you're rubbing formaldehyde on your baby. Like when your baby is born in the hospital, they give you that baby wash to use. So I remember I had used the Baby Ganix brand that they were selling at Babies R Us forever. And I used that, and because I thought, I'm like, okay, Baby Ganix, it's better than Johnson and Johnson. And I would use my coupons. I would stock up on this stuff. I used it for his first year and a half of life. And just recently, they had a class action lawsuit against them because they were not an all natural company. They were claiming to be all natural. They were claiming to be organic. In fact, they weren't, because they still had these fragrances in them. They also had harmful chemicals in them. And I'm not saying that, Alexandra's not saying that to make you feel bad, because we were using these things on our babies. It's just because something is sold, we think that it is safe, but it's not. And that's the reality too. So looking for the word fragrance, okay, looking for the word fragrance in items is going to be one ingredient that you can look at. And around this time of year, also looking for the word petroleum. Okay, petroleum-based products, because in the wintertime, many of us get drier skin. In addition, we're putting lots of things on to combat that. We're using chest rubs, right, to help us with our breathing. We're using lip balms. We're using all of these things for like an extra layer of protection. And 9 times out of 10, if you're getting them from Target, or you're getting them from the pharmacy, or if you're getting them from the grocery store, they're going to be a petroleum-based product. You don't want to put that on your body. Okay, petroleum based products aren't even allowed. They're not legalized to be sold in places like Canada and also the European Union, because they have links to carcinogens, which means that they have cancer causing ingredients because of the way that they're derived. So you just have to be mindful of those things. Again, I had no idea about any of that either, but the more research that you do. So rather than us giving you 10 different ingredients, if you just think about fragrance, and right now, since we're heading into winter time, I would really look at petroleum based products as well, to see if you can just kind of make a switch or make a change. And one of the things, the oil that comes in your starter kit is Raven. How many of you like Raven? How many of you like RC? How many of you like eucalyptus? Let me know. How many of you like healthy breathing, right? Give them to me. How many of you love those oils? Out of those oils, which ones are your favorites? Raven, RC, eucalyptus, even the peppermint. What do you love the most out of those really like opening breathing oils? Let us know in the comments. Because one of the things that I started making immediately, because my guy had upper respiratory issues, I was using first Vicks Vapor Rub. After that, I was using any natural rub I could find and trying to like rub it on his body to help with his breathing. I don't do that anymore. Okay. Up until recently, I have this guy. So he's ghetto. He's chest rub. This is it. It's not beautiful, but it is quick. It takes like a minute for me to make. Okay. So I use these little 4-ounce mason jars for everything in my house, because it's so easy to then just get your hand in there and scoop it out, rather than a larger mason jar. You can really get the last bit out. So I take the hardened coconut oil that you would cook with, organic coconut oil, a half a cup, melt it down, and then you add your oil right into there. After you pour it back into the jar, and then you let it get hard. And I leave this right in the refrigerator. And when I need it, I bust it out. I take it, I put it onto my son's chest, I put it onto his throat, onto his back, onto the bottom of his feet. And guess what? There's no petroleum in here at all, because it's coconut oil. That's it. Coconut oil and essential oil. And it is so easy to make. We're going to send you the exact recipe that I use. I'll send you one that is within the premium starter kit and one that has a couple bonus oils out of it. And I hear what you're saying. So Sherry's saying sniffles. That's a kid sense oil. That's an oil that's already pre-diluted for ages 2 and up. Awesome. Super easy to just put right on your little one. Love that oil. Heather said the chest rub. Yes, they just came out with Thieves chest rub. I was always a DIY girl. This stuff worked pretty darn good. My son just had a sniffle 2 weeks ago. I busted out the chest rub for my first time. Fell in love. The texture was just so nice. It has thieves in it. So guess what, guys? Bonus, immune system support. Thieves is the immune system support oil. So not only did it help with his breathing, but it helps to actually, boost his immune system too. Like, that is a win-win here. That's a win-win. Raven, Yamira's like, yes, love RC. Breathe again. Okay. There's so many oils that are amazing to help with breathing naturally. But that is the slam jam right here. Like, chest rub, super easy. This costs, maybe $1 to make at the most. You cannot beat that. It does not have to be more money. To be natural does not have to be more money. You can do it in very cost-effective ways. Raven is amazing, amazing for that. And one other thing that I do for upper respiratory support, just because we're talking about it, that will also cost you pennies, oregano oil. How many of you have this oil? How many of you, this will be a new oil to you? Let me know. Okay, oregano. Oregano oil smells like a pizza, like a pizza to me. So it's not one maybe that you would wear for perfume. You might only diffuse it if someone is in need of some extra support. Okay. Yes, oregano with thieves, right, Melinda? It's like, you cannot beat this combination for your immune system. Do me a favor, look up some more info on oregano oil. It will seriously expand your mind with what you will see here. I had a woman, the girl who cuts my hair, she was like, oh my gosh, I use this all the time. I can't believe how it helped me with this. I can't believe how it helped me with that. Here's the easiest way to use it. You can also use, all those oils that you just mentioned for upper respiratory support, use it in the same way. You can do a steam with any of those oils. So you take water, boiling water, put it in a kettle, put it in however you boil water, and then you take a pot or a bowl. What I do, I add 1 drop of oregano oil to the water, and then I add something else to it. I add chamomile, dried chamomile flowers. I do that because they are extremely healing for your upper respiratory system. They're wonderful for your skin, and they also help your immune system. I learned that from my doctor, but I add the extra drop of oregano oil because it is so good for your body, for your breathing. And then you can, if it's for you, take a little towel, tent it over the steaming hot water, and breathe it in through your nose, breathe it out through your mouth until the water cools. If it's for your little one, I make my son a tent, like I literally make a teepee out of blankets. I put his diffuser in there. I bring books in there. I have a little flashlight. We call it a campfire. And we put the steam in the middle and we steam like that because he doesn't stop moving. I told you that, even if he's not feeling well. So if I put a towel with a bowl of burning hot water underneath it and him in it, I trust nothing. That's more anxiety for me, and I want it to be easier. But it is so much easier by us just all being in that tent together. Sometimes my husband even squeezes in and literally no one can move. We have a box of tissues. He blows his nose the entire time and he takes breaths in between pages of the book, and it works amazingly well. So that's a little tip that I have for you that is a saving grace in our home. absolutely saving grace.
Yes. And
Yeah.
to add on to you, I literally just used the chest rub on my little guy right before bed. He had the sniffles and like a super clogged up nose. And I literally just rubbed a little bit on his chest and, just to help him breathe a little easier. Even I'll just take the essential oil and just, breathe straight out of I'll open the cap and just put it under my nose and take a quick sniff.
Mhm.
So I even, moms wake up with stuffy noses too. We're heading into winter. The air's kind of getting a little bit drier as we all kick on our heat. So that's definitely a good one.
Yeah. And Melinda said, don't open your eyes under the towel. I like to live my life dangerously, Melinda. I kind of like the burn, but I'm really weird. And but yes, some of these oils, the ones that are great for your upper respiratory system, also give you that tingly sensation, right? They kind of cool your body. And Angela was like, imagine doing that with peppermint. Yes, peppermint is one that, like, even if you put it on your hands and breathe it in, if you kind of do one of these, it's like, whoo, your eyes will start watering. It's not going to hurt you per se, but yes, it could be very uncomfortable. So thank you for that too. Thank you for that. And we were talking about bedtime a little bit. I know that Alexandra was talking about peace and calming,
Mhm.
right? What do you use in your little guy's diffuser?
So I stick with lavender. I've kind of, and cedar wood. That's not a premium starter kit oil, but it's definitely like a really good one for grounding and for just kind of getting in the zone for sleep. Those are really great oils. I also sometimes will use frankincense. That comes from the boswellia tree. I don't know if I said that right, but I know that's the tree it comes from. So that's, any oils that are going to come from trees, they're going to be really grounding for your little ones. As we all know, children have tons of energy and it's hard to keep up with them. So those are really good oils to use. And, little tidbit here, frankincense is also really good for the mamas. So think about it. Like we kind of mentioned earlier, taking care of yourself is important. So it's important to have like a practice in the morning where you take time for yourself and reflect on the day, kind of set intentions. And I know frankincense is one of my favorites to use either in my face lotion to like brighten up my face, or putting a drop on my hand and kind of rubbing it over my heart and kind of saying like the words of inspiration that I need for the day. And for me, it kind of differs every day. I'm faced with different challenges, but I know if I set aside like that quick minute to just kind of do that practice with the frankincense, I'm setting myself up to have a grounded, thoughtful day.
Absolutely. And like you said, it doesn't have to be complicated. So, how about for those of you who use an oil in the morning time, what oil do you love to wake up to? Can you share that in the comments just so that we can kind of learn from each other a little bit?
Yes.
I have brain power over here. And this is an oil that I like to use really anytime that I kind of need to get my stuff together because I can be a little distractible. I can kind of jump from task to task to task and have to be like, Sarah, pull yourself together and sit here and just focus on this one thing. So that helps me a lot. I know that Brandy shared Stress Away. That's an awesome one to start your day with. And Ashley shared Valor and Peppermint and Release. Oh my gosh, that one's so good for
Awaken.
emotions. So good for emotions. Awaken, right? I love that oil. Love that oil, Melinda. It's such a good oil, especially for right now. Sarah said the same thing too. Awaken is so, so good. Citrus oils, orange, lemon, Stress Away. Yeah, all those citrus oils are just like such uplifters too.
Yes, I love peppermint. My sister's actually a student, so for all of your college students, definitely give them peppermint, get them a diffuser. It's like perfect to kind of get in the study mood and just focus. And it's my oil for like getting up and getting ready for work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. I love that oil too. That has always been one to just kind of wake me up. And those citruses just make you happy too. Um, so we have a little bit more time. why don't we talk a tiny bit about some immune system support things too? I know that we had some requests for seasonal allergies. See, this is why I wrote this down too. So let's talk a little bit about immune support. I know that I had mentioned thieves as being like the immune oil. I want to share with you something that we did in the very beginning with oils that is super simple that we still do almost every night. We do it, I'd say, about 5 nights out of the week, and that is a detox bath for my son. If you personally do not take detox baths, you can also take a detox shower. Okay. And what you do, I had started with Epsom salts. But after doing a lot of research about detoxing the body from heavy metals and detoxing the body from just a buildup of yuck, yuck and toxins that could be in your food, that could be in our environment, things like that too. I read that using Epsom salts in conjunction with baking soda and also with bentonite clay, those three. What I do, I have like a big glass, see-through glass jar that I mix all of those in. So I mix Epsom salts, I mix baking soda, and I mix bentonite clay in there. And then I also will add oils. So what I do, I have a lot of empty bottles of oil, so I will soak them in Epsom salts, like just kind of cover them up and get the little last drops out. But if maybe you don't have a whole ton of empties, what you can do, I keep a measuring cup that I scoop into that salty mixture. So the Epsom salts, the baking soda, the bentonite clay, I scoop it in, and then you can add oils and then dump it into the bath, or you can dump it into the bottom of your shower, plug your shower. And as you take your shower, you're going to have the aromatic experience of it opening you up. In addition, you're going to have the detoxification experience just by going out of your feet too. So I really want to just encourage you there. That is something easy that you can do. That is something simple that you can do with a whole different variety of oils as well. What about for you, Alex? What do you love to do for immune system support with the things? We have so many tools that we can use.
Yes, two of my favorites. So I love making thieves tea. So it's really just hot water, a drop of thieves from the Vitality line, and some raw honey. And I'll put that in a teacup, and that just gives me all the immune support directly. And another one of my favorites is actually taking Ningxia Red daily, just because it's a great multivitamin. It provides you immune support. And the way I look at it is this. The typical American diet doesn't have all the vitamins and nutrients and minerals that it should. And that has to do for many reasons. We're not eating as natural anymore. And so I try to make sure that I'm getting all the support that I need. If my body is supported, then I'm going to be able to fight off all the illness and yuck that comes with the seasons. So I take Ningxia Red along with a magnesium supplement, and I also take zinc, a multivitamin, and beef liver tablets. So that's part of my routine. So.
Absolutely. And I think that it is important to start with nutrition, right? Nutrition is the foundation. So we always drink Ningxia Red too. I'm going to spin this into allergy talk now as well. Okay. Because I used to be on Zyrtec 365 days of the year. I had suffered terribly with indoor allergies as well as outdoor seasonal allergies. I remember going maybe about 10 years ago to get a scratchback test for allergy testing. And I was allergic to everything they tested me for except for horses and cockroaches. Everything except for horses and cockroaches. So imagine the type of party that I could have safely with my horses and cockroaches, of which I don't think I was around either of those often. But anyway, those were the only two. They literally told me, like, you are one of the most allergic people that we have ever had. Okay. Now, here I am now, I do not ever take allergy medication. I don't take any medication, actually. No prescription or over the counter. And I also, it's been amazing. Like, it's been an amazing relief, because that allergy medication was also making me more drowsy. It was even making my anxiety be more heightened as well, which was interesting side effects that I had. And I was under the impression that I was going to be on it for the rest of my life. So 2 tips that I can give you, I'll actually give you 3. Okay. One is Ningxia Red. And the reason being is because it is super high in phytonutrients. Phytonutrients can help your body, when it comes from, when it comes to helping to with the immune system, like we talked about, but also when it comes to kind of heal some cellular damage that is going on within your body as well. I had learned about that through my chiropractor, who had me on a different, very high antioxidant supplement. And when I started with Young Living, I had brought Ningxia Red to him and I said, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think I could try this instead? And he looked at the ingredients, he did a cross reference. He said, absolutely, this stuff is amazing. So our whole family drinks that. Number 2, what Alex was talking about, she had said about the raw honey. Okay. She had said the raw honey with the thieves. Raw honey is incredible. Now I'm talking about local raw honey. Using that to help you with a desensitization to seasonal allergens is fantastic. Now, if you are allergic to bees, I don't know, you can talk to your doctor about that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, anything like that. This is just my personal story. But what I started with was 1 tablespoon of raw local honey a day. And I did that for about a year straight. And when my son, as soon as he was over the age of 1, we started him with 1 teaspoon of honey a day. He loved it. Obviously, he loves everything sweet. But I was just concerned that he would have allergies because I had allergies, even though that's not necessarily how it goes. But he does not have allergies. It has helped him tremendously. In addition, you can use the raw local honey instead of, or as a replacement to, a cough syrup as well. Like, that is amazing to coat the throat. It's amazing to just slowly but surely kind of get them around those seasonal irritants too. And the 3 oils that are the best for seasonal allergies are all in your kit. What are those 3 oils? Go ahead, Alex, while the ladies here are going to tell
Oh
us.
yeah. So I was going to say another perk of buying local raw honey. So 1, you're reducing your carbon footprint by buying local instead of buying honey that's like mass produced. 2, I wanted to say that while I was pregnant, I used to, before I even joined Young Living, I was taking honey myself, raw honey. And I miss taking it so bad because they recommend when you're pregnant not to take anything that's not pasteurized. So that is one of the first things I ate as soon as I had the baby.
You were like, I need my raw honey back.
Yes.
Yes. And they're saying lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Yes. Okay. So those are the 3 oils. You can put them in your diffuser. You can put them in a roller. You can put them in your raw local honey and take them daily. Okay. That can be your seasonal support honey. You could put it into a capsule with a little bit of coconut oil, like a veggie capsule. Take that daily instead of your allergy stuff that you're taking, if you feel comfortable with that. If you're diffusing or you're putting it on as a roller, add a little bit of Raven to it. That's just going to help even more with your breathing as well if you're symptomatic at the time from those allergens. But those are some great ways that you can support yourself and support your family with anything going on seasonally too. Those things they're amazing. They're amazing, right?
Yes. Oh, and that kind of makes me want to kind of jump into another amazing oil that I love. And it's included in the premium starter kit. It's Panaway. So that one is a great one for sore, tired muscles. And you're going to want to make sure you dilute it. It's a warm oil because of the wintergreen, but it's going to be really great for all your kids that have soccer practice, cheerleading practice, marching band. You can take the nighttime after they've had a shower and just give them like a nice coconut oil Panaway massage over their tired muscles. I know Panaway has given my family and I so much relief. And that was actually one of like the first oils I ran out of. So, like, but so that's one I love too. And I also know, and I'm really excited to try the Cool Azul sports gel that we have too. So that's, for all your sports fanatics out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I love, love, love Panaway so, so much. The Cool Azul feels fantastic. And I have my CBD oil here too,
Mm.
because this is something that I love. I take this in the evening time. This is the mint one. So this is also really an added bonus, is that it's good for muscle aches, pains, good for head tension. And I love it. I take CBD every single night, because it helps me to calm. I know we talked a little bit about calm and focus at nighttime after you finally sit down from juggling all the things, wearing all the hats, taking care of everyone else. And then you finally sit down and you're like, I can't sleep. So CBD has helped me tremendously to help to calm the racing thoughts. Yes, and they also have a CBD rub too, which is fantastic if you have any need for muscular or joint support too. That is fantastic. But we have just a few minutes left. So I want to talk to you because we are going to, this is how we're going to do this tonight. I'm going to pop a link for a Google Doc down here in the comments. I will also pop it into the Facebook event as well. Fill it out. It's like 4 or 5 questions, very, very brief. And that helps me to collect all your emails. And then tomorrow we will send you our whole recipe list with every single recipe, and then even some bonus recipes, because I know Alexandra had a ton of rollers on there too. Roller recipes for you, roller recipes for your child as well, because you can use any of the oils that are in your kit safely with your children, no matter what age they are. If you're, diluting them properly and you want to put them on your body, okay? It is so cost effective to do. I know someone was saying, I think it was Sherry, she was like, oh my gosh, sleepy eyes, it saved us. And that oil, these oils, the kid scent oils, already come pre-diluted. So I put roller tops. You'll see me with roller tops on just about all of my oils, because that's how I roll. But I'm so cheesy. I'm sorry, I crack myself up. I really do. You should see what I do when I'm in my house. Okay, but Sleepy Eyes smells so good. I love it for me too. I just think it smells beautiful. It is so, so good for sleep. So this is the oil that I use on my son's feet. I rub it on his feet, or he rubs it on his own feet at this point before bedtime, but I still love to give him a little foot massage. And then I always tell him to tell my my husband that he has to give me a foot massage then later too. He'll be like, Daddy, you have to give mommy a foot massage when you go to bed. It's the sweetest thing. But so this is another option if you want like super, super quick, very, very easy. Kid Sense oils they don't get any quicker or easier than that. All of these oils now come in roller bottles as well. So you don't even have to put a top on it. It comes in a roller. Okay, this is not a Kid Scent one. I have them, but they're not within reach right now. And they are all available on Essential Rewards now too. Because if you are not ordering on Essential Rewards, which is our monthly wellness box program, you are not getting the best bang for your buck. Like, I love free things. Any of you love free things? Does anybody like getting things for free? Yeah. Anybody like getting like free money back? Yes. Okay. We all love those things. It is the best way to order. And Alexandra, you explained this so well. Can you just briefly describe Essential Rewards?
Yes. So the great perk about Essential Rewards is it's a totally customizable box that's going to come to you every month. You can change what comes in the box, so you're not stuck like every month you're getting a roller of Sleepy Eyes. You can change it up to whatever you need that month. So sometimes I'll put the Ningxia in there. Sometimes I'll put the Thieves Cleaning Kit in there. I change it up. And the great part is I was already spending all of this money at a Target or a Walmart or a Giant, and I've just reallocated the funds to go to Young Living. And now I get rewards points on my purchases, and I can use those to get free products in the future. It's a win-win. And I'll tell you what, when I first joined, I actually did not sign up for Essential Rewards, and I actually regret it because it took me a while to realize like this is the way to get the most bang for your buck out of these products.
Absolutely. So you get, if you place an order over $100 a month, you get free shipping. Anything less than that, you get discounted shipping on. In addition, you get cash back. They give you a free oil every 3 months. And then they also give you a ton of other freebies based on how much you spend. So I do part of my shopping because right now I earn 25% back on every single order. So I get like a huge hunk of not even change, a huge like little coupon check to shop with every single month, and it's amazing. So I literally plan part of our budget out, which is our whole food supplements, our cleaning products, our personal care products, the oils that we talked about. But it's so much more than just oils. In the beginning, I'm like, how am I going to spend $50 a month on oils? Well, now I know how to spend $50 a month on oils because I use them to support my wellness and my whole family. But it's so much more than that. Like Alexandra said, it's really just reallocating that part of your budget. So that is the best way to order by far. And if you are a Young Living member, something else that I wanted to share with you is a couple things. One, next week, Sarah Stutzman is going to be teaching, leading our Monday night call, and that is going to be all about making it a habit, which is going to be how to use your oils all day, every day, in all different types of ways. How to use them in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening time, how to really make it a habit and get the most bang for your buck with what you already have. That's going to be next Monday night at 8 p.m. In addition, we just chose our next dates for our 5-day cleanse. So for those of you who are in our community, you know that every 3 months we take time together to do a 5-day cleanse with some Young Living products, which are the Ningxia Red, an enzyme. This time around, we're using Detox Zyme and our Balance Complete Shake. And yes, you can eat some food in between too. Real whole food, raw fruits, raw vegetables, nuts, things like that. That is going to take place in January from the 4th until the 8th. If you're interested in that, we can send you more information about that as well. We created it last night, but just to let you know, because then in December, you can put those items on your Essential Rewards order and plan to start January, a little bit lighter with all of us as well. And I'm going to pop in the little Google Doc now. If you can take a moment to fill that out, we would truly appreciate it. If you are not yet a Young Living member and you choose to get your kit this evening, now until midnight, I am still offering for Cyber Monday, the end of November, $20 off your kit. In addition, a beautiful little curated welcome box. But if someone else invited you here, go back to that person and see if you can get their link to join with us as well, so you can be popped into our community. So I'm going to pop that in here. It is there now, so that you can click on that. You can give us some feedback. Does anyone have any questions before we bid you adieu this evening?
Did you guys have fun? Did you guys learn something new?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We hope that you have a good night. Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you, Sarah.
It was fun. And we hope to see you next week.
Yes.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.